Welcome everybody to episode number, what are we on? 24 of Can We Make Impact Wrestling the best promotion in Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are using the 2019 roster update courtesy of Haz. Thank you again, Haz, for that. Also, today is a pay-per-view special because, as you can see on the screen there, we are 2 days away from Impact One Night Only. A couple of big signings to tell you guys about as well. In case you've missed the last couple of episodes, we were able to have a couple of pretty big coups away from WWE. We have brought in Michael Hutter, aka Ethan Carter III. He is back in Impact Wrestling, and Ricochet is here. Signed him away from WWE as well, so very excited to have both of those guys on board for us on the Impact roster. They won't be available for one night only. However, we're looking like we are going to be okay for this pay-per-view coming up. We're also talking about Destination X, the 2006 pay-per-view, March of 2006 to be exact, as we continue talking about the history of Impact Wrestling, the pay-per-view timeline of Impact Wrestling. We didn't go back into the weekly pay-per-views because I kind of felt like that was just too much, but we started with the monthly pay-per-views that began in 2005, and we are now up to March of 2006. So, for this match, or for this pay-per-view, if I can stop yawning for a second. I don't know what it is. I come down in this room and I just can't stop yawning. I don't know what it is. But we have two dark matches on the card. The first was Cassidy Riley and Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore defeated Cassidy Riley. And then you had the Diamonds in the Rough, David Young and Elix Skipper, defeating the team of Shark Boy and the pay-per-view debut of Norman Smiley. Yeah, that Norman Smiley, WCW's favorite Norman Smiley. The opening match on the card, as we will go ahead and advance to the next day in game. The opening match on the card saw Jay Lethal take on Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley picked up the win. He hit sliced bread number 2, finishing move to, or signature, whatever you want to call him these days, to pick up the win. The next match on the card, Lance Hoyt continued his singles action against Matt Bentley and picked up a win in an 8-minute match. You saw Team Canada formed with Bobby Roode and Eric Young this time around in a tag team match against the Naturals, Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas, in which you saw Team Canada get the W there. Alright, so we've got some emails waiting. Let's see what we got going on. Marty Bell is staying with Shimmer. Mark Haskins is headed to Progress. I like Mark Haskins. I don't know if I have him shortlisted. I don't, but I'm going to, because he's pretty good. I like Mark Haskins. Let's see here. Timothy Thatcher's contract is up. Bobby Fish is looking like he might get a contract offer. I would love to have Bobby Fish. I would actually love to have Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. And just bring the entire Undisputed Era along. Bobby Fish is willing to listen to offers. That's good. Because I'd like to offer him some money. I don't know if I want to go 3 years, though, because he's 43. WWE's willing to go 4 years on a 43-year-old talent. I'm willing to pay extra for a shorter-term deal. And I'm willing to give him a monster bonus and 40% bonus on pay-per-view and wage matching. But he still likes the WWE offer better. Wonder if I pop that up to 14,000. I'm not willing to go much longer than maybe 3 years. Okay. 3 years I'm willing to do. 4, I don't know. I mean, 3 years I'm paying him till he's 46. That's scary for me. But I'm willing. I can do 3. So we'll go ahead and make that offer to Bobby Fish. I also want to make sure that I have Adam Cole shortlisted. Okay, he's already on my short list. Kyle O'Reilly, I want to make sure is on my short list as well. I'm pretty sure he is. Yep. And Roderick Strong. Pretty sure he's on my short list too. Yes, he is. Okay. So they're all on my short list. All right, so that's good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and head to... Actually, we want a medical. Make sure everybody is all squared away. Roster's clean. That's good. All right, so we'll advance to the next day, and we'll talk about the next matchup, which was a 4-way match, or excuse me, 6-man tag match between Latin American Exchange, Homicide, Hernandez, and Machete, with Conan at ringside. And Machete also was known as Ricky Vega back in the day. You had Sean Hernandez. And then, of course, Homicide in LAX taking on the James Gang, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and Bullet Bob Armstrong in the ring for the James Gang, in which they would pick up the victory in a very quick match. Just it kind of awkward because it was 6.5 minutes on a 6-man tag match. That's very strange. But the rest of the card would kind of make up for it. You had a fatal 4-way match next, went about 15 minutes. Between P.D. Williams, Chris Sabin, Sanjay Dutt, and Puma. Puma, under the mask, was TJP, TJ Perkins. So P.D. hit the sharpshooter on Puma, and then Sanjay Dutt broke it up and hit a pile driver on P.D. Williams. P.D. tried to hit the Canadian Destroyer. I take that back. Sanjay Dutt tried to hit the Canadian Destroyer on P.D. Williams. P.D. Williams reversed it and hit the Destroyer on Sanjay Dutt. Then Chris Sabin came in and hit the Cradle Shock on P.D. Williams. And then P.D. tried to hit a Canadian Destroyer, but Puma blocked it and hit a Blockbuster. And then Sabin hit the Cradle Shock on Puma and picked up the win. Next up was an 8-man war. It was a 4-on-4 match that saw the Dudleys take on Rhino, or the Dudleys, R-Truth, and Rhino take on America's Most Wanted, Jeff Jarrett, and Abyss. Jeff Jarrett hit the stroke, which is skull-crushing finale, basically, and when Ron Killings was distracted by Chris Harris and ended up picking up the win. 20-minute match, not bad for an 8-man tag. And we've got unread emails and a decision waiting a response. So we'll see what that is. I'm hoping it's TV. Frankie Arian quit at NXT for some crazy reason. That's interesting. Matt Riddle and Babatunde teamed up in NXT. AAA is in trouble with their TV. Miz has re-signed with WWE, which is sad because we tried to get him, but we are currently too small, so that's kind of a bummer. Cesar Bononi won the UK Championship, and Austin Aries put on the performance of the night for All Elite Wrestling. Alright, so let's check out our decision. It is TV. So hopefully we can work to negotiate a little bit better deal. We'll propose one season, 80% of the advertising revenue to the network, and we'll pick up 80% of the production cost. And it looks like we're going to have to go to 90% on those numbers. Alright, so we're good there. And I think we're going to renew for a season on the Fight Network as well. And I'm guessing we're probably going to have to go to 90 on these ones too. Yes, we are. Alright, there we go. We're locked in. Beautiful. Got our TV all set. Mike Mizanin extended his deal with WWE. We knew that was coming. Bobby Fish had the terms of his contract offer. 5 years, 20% per pay-per-view, $12,070 per month. I still like our offer better. $14,000 for 3 years. Don't need them at house shows. 40% bonus per pay-per-view and wage matching. So I like where we're at. I think I'm going to stand pat, and if we don't get him, we don't get him. He's 43, so I'm not going to be that brokenhearted being committed to somebody who's in their mid-40s for the next 3 years. I mean, if I got him, great. I'd love to have him, but that said. All right, moving on. Ultimate X match for the TNA Division X Division Championship at Destination X 2006. Samoa Joe taking on AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels in an Ultimate X match. That is a where has the wires crossing above the ring. And you have to find a way to get to the top, grab the belt, and come down with it. It's basically a ladder match where instead of it just being extended from a singular wire, it is hung at the intersect of two crossing wires. Best way I can explain it. AJ went after the belt. Samoa Joe took him, tried to take him out with a chair. Chris Daniels, he tried to hit Chris Daniels with the chair, but Daniels kicked the chair in Joe's face. And then Chris Daniels climbed up and snatched the title to win the championship. So Samoa Joe was defeated for the first time, technically not in a singles match, but defeated nonetheless. And Christopher Daniels would pick up the title. And the last match on the card, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, Christian Cage versus Monty Brown. Cage came in as the champion. 17-minute match. Brown attempted to hit the Alpha Bomb, but Cage turned it into an unprettier and ended up retaining the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. All in all, not a bad pay-per-view. No buy rates on this one. The card was pretty decent, I guess. And you know, honestly, it was what it was. It's a lot of the same names that you're familiar with, just in different spots, and not a whole lot of chaos or debuts or gimmicks or anything like that. It was just a good, straight up pay-per-view, and one of the first we'd seen in a while from Impact. The next pay-per-view in the chronology was the April pay-per-view, April 23rd, 2006, TNA Lockdown. Which is their, what do I want to call it? Their cage match, I guess, pay-per-view, similar to like a Hell in a Cell, except every single match is competed for in a steel cage. That's the best way I can describe it. So you would see the pay-per-view debut of Black Tiger, Rocky Romero, Minoru Tanaka, and Hiroki Goto from New Japan at Lockdown. You would also see the debut of Low Ki under the ring name Senshi. You also had Spike Dudley making his TNA pay-per-view debut at this one. Scott Steiner making his TNA pay-per-view debut in this one. And Jackie Gata ringside. She was a reality contestant winner, similar to like a Tough Enough she would be at ringside for one of the matches as well. So we'll talk about all of that in the next episode. We are at the Blaisdell Arena in Hawaii for tonight's pay-per-view matchups. And if we look at our show history, we found that we had some pretty good matchups all in all, looking for potential opponents. TJP will defend for the or not defend, I apologize. TJP will face Kofi Kingston for the Impact World Championship. We will also have, let's see, who else could we run with here? I think we've got the Lucha Brothers and the Briscoes for the Tag Team Championships. Marty Scurll against Eli Drake for the X Division Championship. Kairi Sane against Su Yung for the women's title. And we still need an opponent for Eddie Edwards for his Grand Championship. If I can try to go back and look here and see. I think we were going to try Jay White, but it didn't quite work, so we may try that one more time. But we've got our championship matches in hand. We'll start with our main event, Kofi Kingston against TJP. That will be for the Impact World Championship. And this one we're gonna stretch these boys out a little bit here. Let them go all out. Lance Storm is going to road agent this match. I don't care who wins. We're going to slow build it decisively to find our champion. Next up, we have Eli Drake, who will go toe-to-toe with our X Division champion, Marty Scurll. That one we're going to stretch out a little bit as well. Scott D'Amore will be our road agent. We'll slow build a decisive winner that one as well. Next up is our Tag Team Championship match. That is the Lucha Brothers taking on the Briscoes. "20-minute match there. And there we go. Alright, and we've got to find a better opponent for Eddie Edwards. Let's try Jake Hager for that Grand Championship. We'll see how that turns out. Lance Storm will be road agenting this one as well. I do not want to overbook it. Thank you, though. Alright, and last but not least, the Women's Championship match, where we will have Kairi Hojo taking on Su Yung for the Impact Women's Division Championship. The Knockouts Championship. I really should change that name because that name is stupid. Never liked that name. Alright, we'll go ahead and work the crowd on that one. Alright, so now we need to open the show. We have no occasional wrestlers. We have Brody King and Lance Hoyt down in enhancement talent. We have the Coffees, Mark Hendry, Tamatonga. Alright, so we're going to do a 3-team tag team match between the Coffees the Gorillas and Killer Elite Squad. Get this crowd hyped up a little bit. Scott Demore gonna road agent this one too. Alright. And next up. We've got Brody King and Joe Hendry. That'll go one-on-one. And I think we're gonna pre-show these boys. Sorry. And we'll keep it open, we'll keep it decisive, and we'll work the crowd a little bit. Okay. Next up. Alright, we've got our openers and our enhancement talent cleaned out. Let's go Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. That'll be a fun little match. We'll have them work the crowd. Next up. We didn't do our grand championship, did we? Yeah, we did. Okay. We're good there. Okay, next up. Let's go MJF and Shawn Spears. Why not? Let's pre-show these guys too. Just for chuckles. Alright, we should probably pre-show and post-show a couple women's matches. Let's go Shayna Baszler, Britt Baker. We'll post-show that. I have to remember to make sure Amy Dumas is agenting our women's matches here. Almost forgot to do that. There we go. And how many women do we have left? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Not enough to do a battle royal. But we can do a 4-on-4 match with our ladies. I have Alicia Edwards, Zia Brookside, Tennille Taylor, and Talia Madison against... Oh, that's going to leave somebody off the card. We can't do that. So we're going to have to go 3-on-3 and then a triple threat match. Alright, so on one side we'll do Alicia Edwards, Talia Madison, and Tennille Taylor. On the other side we'll do Zia Brookside, Io Shirai, and Ivelisse. And pre-show that. Have Amy show these ladies how it's done. We'll keep it open. We'll go all out, and it'll be decisive. We'll have that split in between there. Alright, now we can do our triple threat match with the women to round out the card for them. Kiera Hogan, Rosemary, and Tessa Blanchard. Arguably three of our best on the main card. And Amy is agenting that one as well. Good for her. Sweet. Okay. So we've got that booked in as well. Alright, now we can round out the rest of these dudes here. I'm gonna do a tag team match on the post show. With Chase Owens and David Finlay on one side, and OVE on the other. In a post-show match. Alright, next up. What do we have next? Lower mids are done. Our mid-card guys. Brian Cage needs somebody to wrestle. Who better than Sami Callihan? Because why not? And I think that one's gonna post show. There we go. Alright, so all of our post show is used up. We still got plenty of pre-show time if we need it. We'll do Dalton Castle against Jay White. Jay White's gonna get the win. Keep it open. Keep Dalton Castle looking strong. We'll go all out and decisive. It's a very specific match for Dalton and Jay. Alright, next up we'll do TK O'Ryan and Bully Ray. We'll keep this one quick and we'll pre-show it. That'll be our lead-in to the card. Alright, we've got 6 guys left. We'll start with Alex Shelley and Jay Lethal. Throwback to the Destination X pay-per-view. Give them 8 minutes to work their magic. As I'm sure they both will do. Alright, what do we got next? Let's do Johnny Impact against Flip Gordon. It's one we haven't done before. Should be an interesting one indeed. And last but not least, we have Rich Swann and Will Ospreay. Alright, so we have officially filled out the card. Everybody is booked. And we're ready to rock and roll. So, let's see how we do. Let's get this running. Alright, our pre-show. Oof, that was not good. Brody King and Joe Hendry were in an absolute garbage match in the pre-show. Not bad for our 6-woman tag match. Got us a C. Shawn Spears and MJF did alright with a C as well in their match. Bully Ray and TK O'Ryan rounded out the pre-show with a C match. Rich Swann and Will Ospreay opening up the show with a C+. A C for Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre. B- for Jay Lethal and Alex Shelley. That's awesome. Good chemistry between those two as well. We have a C- out of Dalton Castle and Jay White. A B for Flip Gordon and Johnny Impact, with Johnny Impact picking up the win. A C+ out of our triple threat women's match. Kiera Hogan got the win in that one. C+ out of our 6-person tag match. The Coffee Brothers, another win. The Coffee Brothers just keep on winning. B- for our women's championship match. Kairi Hojo continues her reign over the women's division, defeating Su Yung. Her 7th defense of the title. A B- out of Eddie Edwards and Jake Hager. Jake Hager wins the Grand Championship away from Eddie Edwards. We have a B out of the Lucha Bros and the Briscoes. Never fail to disappoint. And the Lucha Brothers have regained the Impact Tag Team Championships. Good for them. Marty Scurll and Eli Drake go to a B- with the X Division title on the line. Marty Scurll has defense number 5 of his X Division Championship. Kofi Kingston, defense number 3 of the Impact World title in a one-on-one matchup with TJP. Picks up a B. D- for Shayna Baszler and Britt Baker. C- for our tag match with OVE and Chase Owens and David Finlay. And a D+ for Sami Callihan and Brian Cage. But we finish with a B. Thanks to our main event being as stellar as it was. We increased our popularity in 40 regions. And we are going to give it up to Kairi Hojo, Marty Scurll, and Kofi Kingston for all retaining their titles. Give them some praise on a great performance. Alright, so we'll check our buy rates here and we will wrap this episode up. Alright, we have unread emails waiting. That's our buy rates. Let's see here. Brandy Wine is leaving Shine. Sagat might be leaving DDT. Kudo might be leaving DDT. The 24/7 championship belongs to Jey Uso. Cancerbero wins the CMLL World Light Heavyweight Championship. Dragon Gate saw their Triangle Gate Championship change hands. Dragon Gate made an offer to Kezi. And we went up against Survivor Series and had an excellent show. 8,131 fans. Not quite a sellout for the Blaisdell Arena, but a pretty good show nonetheless. Joe Coffey is unhappy with the push. All right, well, we'll talk about that. Got a lot of guys who are hurting. And a 1.87 buy rate. That's pretty good for us. If we look at our history, we got a pay-per-view buy rate of 1.87, up from 1.45 back in October at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. So our shows are getting better, our buy rates are getting better, our ratings are going up, and as you can see, our popularity is increasing as well. So we need to be at C plus in 8 regions in America, and we're coming along. We're getting there. We are up to a C minus in 5 regions, a C in a 6th region. So we just got to work on the Southwest, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, the Great Lakes, and Mid-Atlantic, and we're going to be in business here with quite a bit of good things happening here. We're not quite ready to take on the WWE just yet, but we're getting close. So we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to save our game, and we'll continue our pursuit. Episode number 25 tomorrow, where we talk TNA Lockdown 2006. We have Impact Wrestling TV, and we find new opponents for our championships in the fallout of our November pay-per-view. So thank you for tuning in. My name is the Mayor Jason Smith. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Be excellent to each other.